Social media is going crazy about the collapse of the US dollar. We're here to talk about what that could mean for your mortgage or not mean for your mortgage here on Today in Mortgages. What's up, Dream Makers? We're back on Today in Mortgages, and today we are talking about the collapse of the US dollar. I've got Rich Jefferson here to talk to us today. Rich, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, Michael.
So last week, Putin and Xi Jinping out of China and Russia got together at a summit. And one of the biggest pieces of the news to come out of that is that they are going to try to move their transactions from the dollar to the Chinese yen, which sparked fears across social media that the dollar is all of a sudden going to collapse. The world's going to end. So we're here to discuss. Rich, we got an article that I pulled from the Washington Post, but what I'm really interested in is all the crazy videos that have been circulating on YouTube. So we're here to be another one of those videos. Have you looked at this at all?
I did. Yeah, of course, it hit my feeds just like yours. And if you're someone that consumes most of your news from social media, your head's spinning because TikTok and Instagram. This is when something like this happens and someone mentions the devaluation of the dollar, you get bombarded with, doomsday stuff, but also, get your Bitcoin, convert to digital assets. This is the
gold.
Rage.
Buy the gold.
Buy gold. It's crazy.
Yeah, if you're buying gold now, you are probably overpaying. But so I'll give you a little bit of a primer on this. If you're not familiar, these two superpowers got together and they were at a summit. And like I said, Putin's quote that everyone's latching onto says, "We are in favor of using the Chinese yen for settlements between Russia and the countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America." And they are working to get other countries to do the same. So this threatens to dethrone the dollar as the world's standard trade currency, which, Rich, why would that be a big deal?
It would be a giant deal. And it's not a surprise that Xi Jinping would like all the transactions to be done in yen. So I'm in favor of it. Of course you are. It's your dollar. So, I think it's a lot of noise. I'm not saying the dollar can't be devalued. The valuation of the US dollar goes up and down all the time.
Yeah, so this article and another one that I found in Forbes did a decent job of explaining what would happen if this dollar failure occurred. And basically what would happen is, the dollar's worth less, so things would cost more, which means inflation would go up even more than it has been. It would be hyperinflation. The worst case scenario would be something like we would have seen in Venezuela over the past several years. The value of assets would go down. The things that you own would go down, including your home, and your debt becomes more expensive and harder to get. But Rich, what would happen to my 30-year fixed mortgage if the dollar deflated?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about a 30-year fixed mortgage. You're locked in. So nothing's going to happen there. You continue to make your payments and life is good.
Yeah, so my payment, even though my dollar's worth less, my payment's going to be the same. The bank's going to have to take that. But fixed rate mortgages would not be affected as long as you can still pay your mortgage, of course. A lot of other things would become a lot more expensive and you might have less dollars to spend on your house. But of course, it would be locked down on credit and debt would be harder to get. So mortgages are a form of debt and it would be harder to issue and receive a new mortgage if you were looking to get into the market. But Rich, on the whole, should we actually be worried about this?
No. We're experiencing some of the outcomes that we would see with a devalued dollar right now. And it has to do with our inflation numbers here. Well, globally, we're seeing it, right? Inflation's up, interest rates are up. The Fed fund rate, they had to raise that in order to bring inflation down. But in the mortgage business, really doesn't affect a 30-year fixed mortgage. It's going to affect your adjustment period on your adjustable rate mortgages and your credit cards and your car notes. All of those interest rates will go up, but your fixed 30-year mortgage is fine. Be glad you have it.
Yeah, and not only that, Rich, the likelihood of collapse of a dollar is extremely unlikely. Actually, when I was trying to look for articles to talk about this, I was trying to look for legitimate articles, and there was very few because legitimate news sources did not pick up on this, like the Twitter and the TikTok and the YouTubes of the world. So, but I do have a quote here just to kind of put minds at ease. This is from the article that I will put posting in the show notes below. It says, and stick with me, it's a little bit long. Dollar dominance is firmly entrenched for many good reasons. A globalized economy needs a single currency for ease and efficiency. The dollar is stable. You can buy and sell at any time and is governed largely by the market and not by the government's whims. That's why China's efforts to expand the yen's role internationally have not worked. Ironically, if Xi Jinping wanted to cause the greatest pain to the United States, he would liberalize his financial sector and make the yen a true competitor to the dollar, but that would take him in the direction of markets and openness that are the opposite of his own domestic goals. So just by a matter of their control, their central control of the currency, and as we've seen over the past several years, being accused of artificially inflating the value of that currency, it's just not a viable option for worldwide markets like the dollar is. Dollar is going to continue to remain king. There's a lot of other currencies out there, the pound, the euro, that people like to trade in, but the dollar is always coming out on top being invested in. So if the dollar were to be devalued, it definitely would not be an immediate collapse like social media would want you to believe. So stop buying your gold. And if you have clients out there talking to you about this, you can put them at ease, letting them know that if they have a mortgage, nothing would happen anyways, but they don't need to think too much into this because it's really just something that people are posting to get attention. So, Rich, we're not going to rate this article, but I am going to post it below where I want you to rate the hype around this social media trend.
Well, it's a 1 for sure.
A 1.
I mean,
we'll just
I
call
don't
it a
think we've
dumpster
rated
fire.
a 1. What is a 1? A complete teardown?
Well, I actually think 0 is a teardown.
0 is a
1 is,
teardown. Yeah. So, this is really between Putin and Xi Jinping. It's nothing but geopolitical, sword rattling. That's all that is. And
I think Putin's smart enough to know that when he says something like this, he can rile people up, and I think he likes doing that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Before we sign off today, I want to make you aware of a free resource that we have out there. It doesn't talk anything about the deflation of the dollar, but it does tell you how to market yourself better in this down economy. So things are tough right now. You can go out and get this free resource and see 5 things that you can do right now to start winning in your marketing to set yourself up for success as the market improves this year. So go check that out. It's at todayinmortgages.com/marketing. Again, that's todayinmortgages.com/marketing. Rich, any final words on this before we sign off?
No, man, just get after it. Go get you some mortgages, get yourself some referral partners, sell some 30-year fixed mortgages. Everybody's fine.
That's right. Yeah. Hedge yourself, get this 30 years. That way, if the dollar collapses, we'll all be fine.
Yeah.
But thanks so much for everyone out there who joined us today. If you want to give us some love, you can like and share this. Leave a comment wherever you're listening or watching this, and we'd love to hear from you. But until next time, hope you guys have a great one. And that's all for Today in Mortgages.
Cheers.
Today in Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2297. The content of this program is meant to be a commentary on mortgage and real estate news, and any discussion of rates and or products should not be taken as individual mortgage or home buying advice or and other legal information. Today in Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is equal